Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie,
Before we start this podcast, I have to say a special happy birthday to one of our loyal followers. Raven, happy birthday to you. Hope you're enjoying your day. Had to do a special shout out to you. So enjoy your day.
happy birthday, Raven.
We're going to jump into some things. Me and T talked a little bit about some things. She hot today, y'all. She hot, hot,
I cooled off.
steaming.
You messy.
We're gonna talk. We were listening to this clip about this one lady who's talking about single moms, and what she said was, there's single moms, and then there are, what was the term she used? Difficult bitches.
Difficult, bitch. Yeah.
That was she said. Single moms and difficult bitches, and they're not one and the same. And she said, and I quote, single moms are people who putting it down for the kids and, you know, raising their kids and give the kids father opportunity to see the kids, help raise the kids and all that. And those are struggle. Difficult bitches are the ones who make it hard for the men to see their kids and always gotta have excuses and always look for money because the guy don't want her no more because he had moved on to someone else, but she's still there with them kids, and
Mhm.
she's just a angry, mad woman because I had your kids and you know fucking left me for somebody else, and now I gotta take care of these little bastards, and you don't want to want nothing to do with me or them. So
Mhm.
I'm a difficult bitch. So what you think, T?
I couldn't be the person who makes the rules out here. Let me be honest with you. I couldn't imagine a man leaving me mid pregnancy, end of the pregnancy, year one with the baby. I mean, I'm with grandpa now. Okay. I'm with grandpa. Where the shotgun at? Because you're not going to disgrace my family or my daughter. Yeah. Either you get in line or wherever the shotgun gonna lead you, that's where you're gonna go. That's I don't know how we ever got away from that. That's number one. This is disgraceful. That the
It
men can just they just leave. You
yes.
just go off and gallivant, go engage in temptations, because that's what happens first, right? We all go and eat the temptations. And then you decide that, oh, this one tastes sweeter for now, right? This space is easier for now. And then you literally no empathy. Just leave. Oh, I'm gonna pay her. I don't know how much money. I don't know nothing about this child support thing y'all talking about. I don't know nothing about it. But I don't know how much money you would think that I felt like I deserved if a man decided to impregnate me, swear to be my forever person, swear loyalty to me, right?
Hmm.
Got to know my whole family, hanging out with my father and all of them, and then at some point decide, I'm gonna just jump ship just because I found another person. Yeah, just because. Off with his head. Stop playing with me.
God damn.
Stop playing
And,
with me. So a
you know,
dinner,
T, I agree with you. I
yeah,
really, truly agree with
yeah.
you because I was brought up at a point where men were men. Men didn't. They had, there. Let me go back. A lot of y'all probably understand, heard of these stories, but there are men who had multiple families.
Yeah, they
They
did.
they had their main family where they had their
Hmm.
kids, and they had the little
Hmm.
side family where they had kids.
Yeah.
They took care of both. They
Hmm.
and everybody's pretty open about it. I mean, back then it was like,
Not
not really in the
necessarily.
face kind of open, but
Yeah,
you
not
knew about
saying
it.
it's open, but people knew what the position was that they were playing. You didn't lie to me and build me up that I was your only one, your forever person, and then you jump ship. See, if you created a family here, you kept and maintained that family. So
Mhm.
I don't, you bitter, you difficult bitch. And these are women who, they've walked these, some haven't. Let's be real.
Mhm.
Some people can't fathom like what that feels like to be eating rejection like that. to be feeling disposed of like that, to be feeling any type of way, you know, in that position to raise a child alone, but be also rejected. And that be the product of, rejection. Now I have to raise the child by myself. Some people don't know. Some people was able to eat it, get over the hurdle. Maybe they found love again. But only thing I'm saying is I understand the difficult bitch. That's what I'm saying. Yes, at some point we have to get over it. But we not gonna get over it by trying to do what she was doing. She was going in way too hard, giving men, the guys who are supposed to be our leaders, our providers, our protectors, another little scapegoat route. Like it's always the woman's fault. Some shit that he done been dirty these women on. And then you got another woman, mouth wide open, trying to go viral, your most viral. Like, come on, have several seats and press us on something else as opposed to trying to tear down a group that everybody's trying to tear down. Now the women are trying to tear down other women as opposed to trying to correct the actions. You're going to
Yes.
tear it down and that's the corrective action by telling them about themselves with such a, you know, such a blow. You are not a single mother. No, you're not married. That means you're single. That's what that means actually. You're not a single mother because you're denying your listen, a lot of women are denying the dad rights, right?
Hmm.
But you only get denied because you opted not to marry this woman. You did not honor the situation. You did not honor the situation. In some capacity, the situation wasn't who cares whose fault it is. Either way, this woman is single because she is not wed. She's not married.
And you're right. And we see it, T. We've seen it. We've seen
Yeah,
growing up. We've seen the aunts who had kids, multiple
yeah,
kids, but didn't have no daddy. Well, they had daddies, but they didn't have no husband.
right.
And and you saw this, so it wasn't like, oh, it was this family. It was all over. So again, growing up, I heard men say, "Hey, when you have a kid, that's your responsibility to take care of that child.
Hmm.
It's not the mother's responsibility.
Hmm.
It's your responsibility. It's not the grandparents' fucking responsibility.
Hmm.
It's not anybody else's responsibility. That's yours. So don't sit there and, well, somebody will take care of it. No, because those people didn't fuck her to have this baby. You fucked her to have this baby. So now you need to go ahead and deal with the after effects of taking care of this kid. And nobody wants to hear about, oh, it's gonna cost money. I heard Uncle say, it's gonna cost you take money in my check. And I heard other uncles say, motherfucker, you live that life. You should take money out your check
Yeah.
because you're the one that had the baby. So I've seen both. So I've seen the ain't shit uncles and the for real uncles and real fathers. So I could see the difference. That what I don't see and what I constantly hear is a lot of men say they don't see that growing up, period. They don't see the bad or the good and the bad. They just see bad or they just see, the whatever, I don't know why she got pregnant. I ain't want no kid in the first place. Well, it does take you a goofy motherfucking ass to be fucking, and you understand you can't play that game without protection on both parts. Not
Yeah.
just he didn't have a condom or she didn't have, whatever she's supposed to have. No, both of you motherfuckers, you play this game, understand the rules of the game, and you can fuck around and have a baby.
But you see how diverse that the situation can be. I think the other thing about the commentary was dismissing the diversity of single parenthood, right? Single motherhood. It doesn't look the same for every household. Some single mothers are very well supported, whether it be from their own family, whether it be from his family, you know, whether it be from him himself. Support doesn't equal to you not being a single mother. So it's that it's single motherhood isn't defined by the struggle, right?
Hmm.
If you're a single mother, it's okay to not struggle in that motherhood if you can have that type of lifestyle. I don't know why we're putting that on there. And for me to identify some struggles in my parenting, right?
Hmm.
you dismiss it because you're saying I have support, so therefore I don't have the same type of struggles as motherhood, as single mothers. We did the same thing with one of the twins, what's the Maori twins, the sisters,
Mhm.
where one of the girls were married, and her and her husband, for whatever reason, came to a point where they decided they no longer wanted to be married, but they had to co-parent at that point. And she went online to kind of talk about how she was feeling in her moment, and she reflected on the idea that now in her moment, single parenting, or being a single mother was difficult for her. And the internet went crazy. Like, what is she talking about? She has money. That man is still a very supportive man. And she's complaining like she's in real life a single mom. And it's like, there's no man in the house with that woman at the
Yes.
beginning or the end of the night. So when the kids are thirsty or they drop something or they need the laundry done, you only get to look at yourself. So how is that not being single?
Yeah,
And
that term is fucked up though. It's always been fucked because you always want to play down like the single moms deserve to be single moms because somehow they fucked their own lives up and you
or
deserve to kind of go through this bullshit.
or you have a negative connotation attached with it that is also attached to like struggle, right? So if you were in the Asian community and you were a single mom, or you say I'm raised by a single mom, I don't think that we would attach that parenthood with struggle. We would be okay with attaching that with, oh, I'm quite sure she was very strict, right? But
Mhm.
not necessarily a struggle. There's something about, in my opinion, in our community that we keep wanting to attach and associate certain things with the struggle, that just because you identify a struggle with it, that doesn't mean that that's necessarily what's attached there to it. If I'm a single mother and I have the opportunity to raise my children in the household, um, with my parents, right? So now I have
Mhm.
the support of um my mother and my father, right? And maybe I'm pursuing a master's degree or a PhD, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna have some struggles, right? But my parents live in a $500,000 home. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I have a pretty decent job, full-time job, and I can do my studies, you know, in the evening. And dad kind of got the baby, and then mom taps in, and then I'm able to tap in when I can because I'm at home, you know.
Absolutely.
But I'm a single mom, and the dad comes by whenever he wants to because we kind of both got the support of my parents. And life as a child of one is kind of sweet because guess what? My village is super strong, but that woman is a single mom and she's going to feel the life of being a single mother, laying in the bed at night, being extra exhausted, having to get up, can't nudge your partner to say, hey, babe, get up, do this instead of me doing it. No, that's single motherhood. Um, and sometimes even when you're married, your ass still feels single. So don't be trying to knock nobody nothing. Like she talking about. uh-uh. Nah. It's
You're
difficult
absolutely.
bitches out here. And I don't know if the point of that post was to recognize that some women are just difficult. They are.
Mhm.
But they're difficult for a fucking reason. That's number one. That's number one. Um, but we at no point did we even mention that children are suffering from this. It was just a rant to go in on difficult women. And I that was too much.
And there you go. On top of all this fucking discussion, T, the one who hurts and
Hmm.
suffers the most are the fucking
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
And you forget all about her emotion, his emotion, and he did this and she did that. Fuck all that. You played adult games and you won the prize. The
Yeah.
prize is the baby. I
Yeah.
don't want to ever hear nobody talk about, it's a mistake on it. No babies are mistakes. The baby's coming from your actions. Whether you late night, early morning, one night stand, whatever. You played the game. This is the prize you won, and it's your goddamn responsibility to take care of your responsibility, not
Mhm.
your mama, not your daddy. And if they choose to, fine. You
Yeah.
build that village around them, but you can't all of a sudden play games because they hate games because it didn't work out for you. Oh, I thought he was my forever man. Not.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought she was my forever woman. Not. Okay. Let's get past that. We have a kid now. We have to do what's best for the kid.
But
And again,
also,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't think that we can dismiss each other's feelings. I think that we've lived a society who led us to believe that we can do that. And in this day and age, I think that we can all conclude that that's a false sense of reality, that you're going to be able to co parent with a man and you got a disrespectful tongue towards him.
Yes,
I think that's a false, like that's a false reality that we're trying to sell. Oh, it don't matter that person. You don't got to worry about that person's feelings. As long as you co-parent with them, you're good. No, you have to respect the mother of your child. You actually do, in her face and behind her back. You see, and that's
absolutely.
that's where a lot of the issues come to play at. Is that I I'm there for my kid. Those types of phrases when we're saying that we're only here for the child, and you think you can treat the man any type of way, or you think you talk to his mom any type of way because you know he gonna feel a certain type of way about that, or vice versa. You say anything you want to that woman, and you think that she just supposed to drop the kid off and be okay with that, or she gonna have those kids ready at 5:30, on time after you done said all types of egregious stuff to her. She just gonna cooperate with disrespect. That man gonna dip into his pocket and in his wallet voluntarily with disrespect on his back and in his face. We are all human. And yes, we want to talk about what's right and what's wrong and what we could do and should do, right?
Hmm.
But the reality of it is that we're going to move like humans move.
Yes.
It. And if you started off a life with someone or sowed a seed into one, and you don't think that you have to keep pouring into that woman for the remainder of the time that she's pouring into your child, or you don't think that you have to pour into that man in no capacity for the remainder of the time that you expect him to pour into your kid, that's why men lean back by the time them kids turn teenagers. Those men be like, "No, don't call me now. Don't
Yep.
call me now when he acting up." Because you didn't
That's
pour into that man at all. You couldn't even send that man a decent happy birthday card via the sun. You see, you can't even muster up a $12 bouquet of roses from the local giant grocery so your son can say Happy Mother's Day to his mom properly.
there you go.
You have to take care of each other, even if you dismissed her as your family. Even
Hmm.
if you said, "Oh nah, he a broke man and I wanted to level up," you can't disrespect him. Nah, I needed me a baddie. I'ma level up. F her. You can't do you. Yeah, level up. Go do you. But in the meantime, in between time, you got to realize that no, I got to put some sugar on this situation. I got to put some respect here. I got to start moving with some integrity when dealing with this person because we're dealing with something that's quite imperative here, and it's time constraints on your kid and their childhood. So you
Yes.
can't just play around with it.
No, you can't. And that's the reason why we have the issues we have in our community. And particularly, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
black community. We we spend most of the time, and T and I are always on, IG and all the other ones, and there's always some skits about disrespecting each other.
Hmm.
And you disrespect each other like, oh, and it makes you feel like, oh yeah, tell her what's on your mind, all that shit. But in real life, that doesn't work because what you're doing is you're hurting the next generation of kids that are growing up. Because when they see this level, this functionality, and you wonder why these kids are fucked up and dysfunctional, don't blame them. They learned that shit from somewhere, so you have to look at yourself. So stop keep playing these games with each other because you mad at her for whatever reason, she mad at you for whatever reason. Grow the fuck up. It's
Yeah.
time for you to sit down and respect boundaries. And that's the other thing, T. Nobody respects each other's boundaries because they almost like,
That's
I
facts.
got a kid of yours. I can fucking call you at 2 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon and come pick this motherfucker up because he gets on my nerve.
Yeah.
And you supposed to drop your leave your job to go and find this motherfucker and go pick this kid up because you and him got into an issue or you and her
Yeah.
got into an issue. That's not fair to him because again, he has a life. He still has to take care of himself, still got to take care of kids and everything else going on. So you have to respect each other's boundaries and
Yeah.
and stop just assuming shit. Because again, you're not connected anymore in that way. So you can't just assume, oh, I call his ass for the day, he gonna come pick her up. He probably can't. If he's working a 15-hour shift or a 10-hour shift, he's stuck there. So you can't blame him for that. But then you get the attitude. Now the kid has the attitude because it's not like you saying that shit by yourself. The kid right there or somewhere near saying fuck shit about but their daddy. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, that is those kids' father. So whether it's woman and mother or father, that's still your kid. And so you're disrespecting him. It's like you're disrespecting a part of him because no matter what, that's still part of that other person. So how you think the kids gonna fucking feel when you disrespecting their father or their mother? They're not gonna feel so good, and they're gonna look at you kind of crazy. And then they get older because, as T said, they do fucking grow up. And
Yeah.
then you have this bad relationship or non-existent relationship, and then you want to come back after the fact. You didn't do shit, and then like, well, I guess I need to find my way back in. 17 years, about to graduate from high school, and now you're gonna find your way back in their life. I don't think so. It's not gonna be that easy, and you have to blame yourself. Don't blame her because the other thing is, T. I hear people all the time because once they're little, and I said this shit ain't gonna work well. You grow up, kids don't want to fuck with them. I don't know what she turned. Why she turn him against me? She the one to stop me from coming in. Well, motherfucker, if you're never there, what are the kids supposed to say? If you don't see you trying to get into their life, or and see the mama cutting them, then the kids say, "Oh, I have seen my dad try to get in my life. My mama has been that barrier." They can kind of see it. But if you don't never do shit, then you expect the kid to look at you and say, "I tried, or she just wouldn't let me." The kid doesn't see that because they see what they see. And so now this whole revisionist history. Kids don't give a fuck. They don't care. All they know you weren't there.
Yeah. The whole I wanted to hit on two things, but this one especially. The whole idea of mom that you can't see your kid, that's that we're tossing that up out of the window. See, we can't see your kid to a lot of us sounds like you don't have a child support order or a visitation order to set up for whatever reason, right?
Hmm.
Like, is it a bullshit reason on why you're letting this woman manipulate a situation? Because there's no other capacity in your life that you would allow a woman to manipulate other than this right here. And it's only certain men. We know that there are certain men they're gonna stand on. I'm not having no dealings with that woman. I don't want nothing to do with her. Only thing I want is the courts to dictate how I'm gonna see my kids because she's not gonna do it. And so for the rest of those who are not doing that, the women are trying to figure out what exactly you're talking about. And is the woman actually telling you you can't see your kid? And why are you sitting down so easily? Sometimes you sit down because you don't want to pay this full child support order that's going to be on your back, so you let her manipulate the situation. Sometimes you don't. You allow her to manipulate the situation because every so often y'all get to lay down together. So there's
That
there
T,
there's the gray area in there. But either way, it sounds like your leadership is poor.
yes,
Um,
and let me cut you off real quick. That's the other thing.
mhm,
Boundaries. Talked about that earlier.
yeah.
You have to understand if you decide not to be in a fucking relationship, stop fucking. Because for us, for guys, it's just a thing to do. It's just something we can, I can slide in and knock her off a little bit, give me a little something, something because I'm breaking her money off. But for a woman, that allows her to think that this is an opportunity. Like, yeah, he faded away, but if I keep giving a little something, maybe he'll look back and maybe we can rekindle some stuff.
Mhm.
And as a man, you ain't trying to rekindle shit. All you're trying to do is get what you can get, deal with your kid, and keep moving on to other people. Grow the fuck up, men, and stop fucking sleep with your baby's mothers when you know that you have no chance in hell getting back with her because
Yeah.
you're leaving her a false fucking hope,
Yeah.
and then she's gonna pass on to the kids. Like, maybe we'll get back together. Maybe me and your daddy. So the kid, like, oh, maybe they will, because daddy is coming here at nighttime. I see him creeping
Yeah.
in and out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now that shit happens. Then the kids fucked up, like, oh man,
Mhm.
dad, he followed, he led my mama astray. She, I thought we were gonna be together. Now he or she has an attitude because you playing games, and they see you playing games with the mother.
Yeah.
Be man enough to say, you know what, handle your fucking responsibility. And even if she try to give you some pussy, that ain't how this relationship goes. This not what I'm here for. I'm here to take care of my kid and to see my kid and do everything possible to make sure that they're taken care of. But we should
Draw
eliminate the sex shit.
it's drawing clean lines, and that's what a lot of men are not doing, and the result really is a bitter bitch. Can you imagine a man coming and going for 10 years, giving hope, breadcrumbing the broad, and it's the accountability is definitely on hers. Sis, he's breadcrumbing you. He doesn't stay for long, and it's been going on for 10 years. But you got all this hope into it, and you're allowing this because you got a kid with him. You feel a certain type of way. You love him. You only love him. I get it. But at the same time, oh boy, he's doing what he's doing. And he's moving in ways that are very ambiguous. It's hard to read for her, and he knows it, and that's why he's moving like that. That's actually how he's moving like that. And then the result of, a poorly managed man is going to be a bitter bitch. And then you're going to scream that shit at the top of her at the top of your lungs like this bitter bitch ain't been through enough. Right,
Yes,
right,
yes. And we're seeing the results of it.
already.
P. We're
Hmm.
seeing the results of it because again, me when I saw it, 70s, 80s, and you saw the clear delineation between the two. It's
Hmm.
like, oh, I want to be that one because this uncle is he's staying fucking trouble. He's staying child support. Or back then they had uncles who would go to the barber shop and be looking out the window. And you'd be looking like, why are you looking out the window? Because he has child support payment and didn't pay shit. So now they're looking for him to arrest him. So now they're in the barbershop. I get shape up, but now I got to make sure that the cops don't come in here because cops know they know fucking well you're gonna be in the barbershop at some point. If you go in with a piece of paper, there's some motherfuckers on that list that's in the barbershop getting the haircut, getting the shape up. So you're gonna find somebody. So now you're ducking and oh god damn, they're trying to get my money. I gotta get arrested because I ain't paid. Then you run around asking people for money, your sisters for money, your mama for money for your child support. That's fucking bad.
No, no, y'all not gonna turn the barber shop into something that it's not. How dare you all do how dare you all do that to the barber shop? Wow, that became the corralling place. Pick them up here. Pick them up here. They have been here. Wow.
Yeah, so of course you're
Uh-huh.
like, I don't want that shit. So of
Yeah.
course I'm like, I'm gonna carry myself differently. And
Okay.
again, along the way as men, temptation is every goddamn day. So to say she tempted me, but boys get tempted. Men
Mm-hmm.
understand that I can't have everything. Boys will eat candy until they fucking pass out and they're sick to their stomach. Men realize I can't eat candy. I don't want candy because again I know what would happen to me. So all these boys want to be men, but then they want can really be boys when they don't want to really deal with their responsibility. Well,
Absolutely.
once you have a kid, you have responsibility. It's not your mother's responsibility. I know motherfucker send me a email talking about I got my mama paying my child support because I can't afford. It's hard for me to find a job, and she asked me for all this money and shit. So I went back and forth with him. I said, "How much you got to pay for child support?" Motherfuckers are $100 a week.
I know it. It'd be $400 a month, and they talking about their mother paying that. And some of them. The thing about a man is that sometimes they are late bloomers. And this is
Yes,
what I don't like that's not being spoken about enough in and when on these platforms where we see the podcast is that the man does bloom at some point. And you'll have the guys whose moms are taking care of that child support because they're young, you know. That it's new to everybody. But eventually and they feel in that moment, in their youth, right?
Mhm.
They don't feel that woman is entitled to that money. They don't. They like everything in them is like, no, I cannot. If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't part with it even if I had it because, I'm not paying her rent or I'm not paying her dad. I'm not helping with her lifestyle type of thing. That's how
Yes.
they. But if a man matures in real life, which I've seen, plenty of them do, um, they do get humble and they like, oh man, my mother really held me down, and I was being a dirtbag for years. I wasn't paying my child support, myself. I didn't get it. It
Mhm.
wasn't until I was in the household and I saw it. And now that I have a family of my own where I get it. That $400 a month to that woman was nothing. That was barely utilities in a home. We spent $400 a week just on groceries. Um, They'll some will get it. The sad
Mhm.
part is the ones who don't get it, who keep on doing the same thing, who's still mad in the third baby mother around, third trip to court, and you still bitter and acting like these women don't need these funds to help um facilitate parenting your children. Like
It,
that's sad.
it really is sad, and we're talking about the money part of it, y'all.
Mhm.
More
Not
importantly,
even the
as important is money is the emotional part of it. The
hmm
reason why we had so many, and I keep hearing the term weak men, weak boys, soft ass boys. There's a reason. And it's not just because the mother raised them, because the fathers wasn't there. And for let me tell you, for somebody who was raised by their grandparents, I
hmm
understand it very well. Because again, I learned from the old school, so th- they were like, "This is how you supposed to raise a family. This is how you supposed to take care of your wife. This is how you supposed to take care of your kids." I got the full whole lesson. So for me, it was no, well, how I'm supposed to be a man, how I'm supposed to take it. No, I fucking knew how I'm supposed to take care of family and take care of my family and kids and all this shit. Was no wiggle room for that. But guys now, people, kids growing up now don't have that. They don't have a grandparent maybe with that old school grandparent who's really teaching these kids how to do certain things, how to handle yourself in certain situations. They're growing up based on their mother's working their asses off, the father's not involved. Um, she's just trying to keep food on the table. So now they
hmm
have to raise themselves. If they don't have anybody else around them to help them raise them, like an uncle or aunt or anyone else who has some common sense to raise you properly. So then
Yeah.
these kids grow up. But you grow up, but they have no skills, no coping skills when it comes to relationships, how to handle things, things you should do as a man, things you shouldn't do as a man, a
hmm
young man. So they go out there and they wing it. And what happens with that, T, as we know, you find other young men just as fucked up as you are to raise you. So you have a basic a pack of motherfucking wolves who all of them been grossly, you know, raised, trying to raise each other. So you know how that shit goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how it goes. It goes to be the mom's fault all of a sudden now because these kids had to fend for themselves, and mom kept the proper roof over their head. Because, like I always say, if the moms would have moved like how the dads moved in some of these situations, your children wouldn't be here. They wouldn't make it. Um, it all you told the story correctly. That's what ends up happening. You end up having to kind of fend for yourself, get yourself on your school bus every day, do homework without mom's looking over it type of thing. Um, Extracurricular activities tend to be at a minimum. Sports are hard to engage in. Um, it's hard to do all those other things when it's just you in the household. Um, and then the product of that, y'all be mad. But what else was you going to do? Because I just went to work and paid the bills because that's all, the 24 hours in the day allotted me. And then when it's all said and done, 18, 21 years later, and the kid is, a lot like mom as opposed to a little bit like mom or can't control his temper, like what you do to my son? Look what you did to the boy. I didn't
That's
ask
what fucking
for
happens.
all of that in the first place, just so we're clear.
And you're surprised that he just acts like his mom. He's such a feminine acting guy. I ain't raised on something like that. That's the problem, kid. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't raise him, period. So
Hmm.
that's why he resembles his mama and not you, because you spent your time doing everything else but raise them.
Yeah.
Let your mama raise them. You know the old saying, you bring the kid over. I can't tell how many kids, people, grown people now said, I just want to see my dad. But you know who I saw? My grandmama, my
Yeah.
auntie, his other kids,
Yeah.
because he was never fucking there.
Yeah.
So they raised me. So I didn't get a chance to learn what a man should be based on a man. I went from my mom to my grandma on his
And
mama
more women.
and
Or his
more fucking
sister.
women.
Sometimes it's like
Yes,
his sister. Yeah, whoever the women are in the family. Um, yeah, absolutely. So you're gonna only get more women.
yes. And now you wonder why why he need to change or he need to do something. Well, first of all, you can't come in and be super saver hole after the fact, after all the work is done and he's an adult. Now you want to come in and give him follow advice. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna tell you what guys have told me with the guys who never, the fathers who were never in their lives. Fuck you. You had an opportunity to be there and help me, but you did the pussy way. You ran away. You went to the other baby mama. You went to your mama house. You went to wherever the fuck you went to, other than to be there and raise them to be the men that you should have supposed to have been there to raise. So that's why I look at you. You can't come back to these grown ass men now and tell them what the fuck they should be and how they should roll. You weren't fucking there. So you ain't have the right. And most of them say it. They don't give a fuck. If that motherfucker was on that deathbed, they wouldn't even fucking go and see him. Because why the fuck I'm gonna see a man who I don't fucking know? So this is the end result. So you can sit around and play that pussy ass game about money and her and all I'm telling you, you can fuck around. Don't do it now, but you're gonna fuck around and find out down the road at some point, and you're not gonna like how that response is gonna be.
Most
So
people gonna ignore it. That's the reality of it. Is that once you start ignoring your parenthood, once it gets hard and they're adults, you just walk away from it again. Um, but we're living in the product of what we put out there, and so if we don't realize that the blame game thing is not serving anyone, men have to show up for their children in whatever capacity. It doesn't have to be in the largest capacity. You just show up. You can be the person who picks up the kids after school. Just take them back to their mother house. Stop and get some ice cream. Stop at the library. Small things. Start small. But just show up. Because the idea that y'all not showing up and then I get it all wrong and then you mad. What are y'all talking? Now you got the sisters fighting the sisters over it. Girl,
hello, exactly. You got two families eh, fighting about your kid. That's the other thing. When you sit back, there's no way as a fucking grown ass man you should be on the back as your mama and your sister argue with your baby's mother about your child. And you sit in the back, "Oh, I'm staying out this, it's between women. No, motherfucker. It was because of you. Because
yeah.
you were fucking man enough. You could be in there and be part of that shit and really get this shit right. But not, put everybody else in front of you. You trying to use them as fucking guide or
But it's
protection.
no, it's you're leading by default as opposed to intention. Your leadership is coming to you by default as a setting, right? So in the situation where you're supposed to go in there and lead with intention and tell the baby mom how she's supposed to move amongst your family, and then tell your family how they're supposed to move amongst this person that you chose to bring into this household, you're just sitting back and doing the nothing. And you're the only person who could fix it because you're the lead by default. Like it's just
Yes.
it's only you. And
A-
every
a- a-
time this like divine role they have. It's a crazy concept to me.
See, and it's so upsetting because when you watch back, I should be watching back. We should be watching back and watching a new generation of kids blossom. Of course, every kid's gonna go through stuff because we're human. But and to see stories of people in their 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, sometimes 60s, just saying, "I just want to know." why nobody was there for me. Why was my dad not there for me? Why was I put in a situation where I felt like I was just a foster kid and not even relating to anybody because they treat me that way because didn't feel wanted. And let me tell you guys and women, grown ass people say this. So it's not like the kids won't tell you at that point. Their kids just trying to find out what the hell's going on with their lives and why can't they be like normal, live a normal life. But when they grow up and they realize that they have their families and do what they do, the question is why didn't you do what you supposed to do when I was young? They don't want to hear no fuck shit. They don't want to hear no excuses. And your daddy was this because both of y'all had a hand in this. So you both gotta be responsible enough and grown enough to have that real conversation with your now adult kid. Because they're not gonna understand all the other shit. And they don't want to bring up people, well, one for that person, this person. They don't give a fuck about any of that. All the stories I've seen, they don't give a fuck about that. All they know is why didn't you show me love? Why was you there for me? When I was at different events, you were never there. When I needed something for a prom, I didn't get no money from you. When I needed you to talk to you about something, you were never available. These are the things that these kids harbor as kids and bring them into adulthood. And they're only going to do one or two things. They're either going to not do what you do because they know the hurt associated with that and be the best parent they can, or you just be a fucked up person. I survived, so they'll survive too. So you continue the craziness, the dysfunctionality, the bullshit that you went through. You go pass to the other generation. So the rest of us got to deal with that bullshit at some point. If he's a girl, if it's a woman or girl, she got to deal with a guy who's fucked up like that. And if it's a guy, vice versa. And it's not fair because again, you did this. They didn't do anything. They're just the aftermath of it. But this whole blaming people is bullshit because as a community, we're suffering as a community.
Now, don't you? To me, that sounds like the long term effect of the whole.
Yes, that's the long term effect of
But
what you don't do now.
yeah, but what about? Do you think the outbreak that we've seen in our community? Don't you think that's sort of like a short term effect? Because a
Hmm.
few years ago, like we keep seeing these STD outbreaks and epidemics and surges in the area, and
Yes.
where that's coming from? Where do really, who like like where who's perpetuating this? Who's carrying the diseases? What type
Hello.
of lifestyle do we think is being lived to where the result in our communities are STD outbreaks, epidemics, and surges? We have to be honest about what's going on out here and really the lifestyles that we are living. It's not like that they live in, we live in. We
Yep.
live in. Because even if I'm a faithful woman and I'm only sleeping with my man, he's not involving me in a lifestyle if he's stepping out on me, right? So now it's
Yes.
all the is we all in this lifestyle. So now you done thought you found your forever person. He done went out and found another forever person. God forbid if she's sleeping with, you know, just a random person. So now you involved with all these persons.
Yep.
And we talk HIV surges, you know,
And
all
T.
different types STDs going on, and it's specifically in our area right now, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, I thought I saw something. I didn't verify it, but there's pretty much surges in lots of major cities. But that's our norm, and that's been our norm for quite some time. And it's like there's a certain lifestyle being lived that then shows itself in the community.
Yep. It
That's
does.
the public health information is showing us what's happening in the community. Y'all
Yes.
doing too much.
It doing way, way too fucking much. Anyway, again, growing up, you could get crabs, you get syphilis, you get those things.
Base
That's what it was. It was
that those
crabs, syphilis.
basics. I know where you're going.
But
Uh,
now you're not getting shit that you can take an ointment for. You're not getting shit that like, you know what? Just stay, don't get active and get your shit cleared up. We are getting shit that people will carry for the rest of their lives. HIV does not go anywhere. And I heard some fucking fool, young kid, of course, said, "Oh, they got pills for it. We're not really concerned about it because they got HIV pills for it." I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, but
That's your excuse to go ahead and fuck somebody raw because they got pills for it. You dumb motherfucker. They don't solve HIV. It's part of those that maintenance part. It doesn't
here's
cure
the
shit.
here's the other part. I keep seeing T-Boss from TLC. I guess she's part of the awareness movement to promote the PrEP medication, the preemptive medication, but like prevent HIV. If y'all not responsible enough to have condoms and buying Plan Bs, like y'all real life responsible enough to be getting the PrEP. Y'all not. Clearly the numbers show that y'all didn't. The numbers show that people was not.
No, at
It's a
all.
old so the idea that, oh, I'm gonna get it and then get written on, you were supposed to prevent it. You're supposed to prevent a lot the hard ones, the really bad ones. We've done a lot of research to be able to get to the place where there's at least a preventative drug, because like you said, there's not a treatment drug. That's where did the information miscommunicate here for that?
That's what I don't understand either. T. It's like where the fuck is became? Oh, it's okay to catch AIDS. It's okay to catch HIV. It never was good to catch that shit. What are you fucking talking about? Hey, we got a pill. We can take the pill and that'll be okay. No, you won't, motherfucker.
And
You won't be okay.
your
And
whole life will still change. Yes.
and then yeah, you have to have the mark. The mark is you can't not tell somebody you don't have HIV. You have to tell them you have HIV
Yep.
because if not, then that becomes a public service issue, and then your ass get arrested and locked up for going ahead and giving people fucking diseases because you trifling.
Yep.
So let's get off that fucking bullshit about we can just take a pill for anything. No, 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 you can't, and you're fucking the rest of your life up because then you may have got it at 16 because we know that they're having sex way earlier than 16. So now you carrying that shit in your teenage years, and you got to tell every man and every woman from that point on, I got AIDS. And how many guys and how many girls you think gonna say, "Oh, you got AIDS? Okay, well, HIV. Okay, well, I can make a relationship with you." They're not going to. Now you ostracize yourself because now you have to be around the other people who have HIV who can't find anyone because nobody wants to fuck with someone with HIV. No one. So they're making horrible decisions out here. And it all starts when they're small because obviously no one's guiding them on their way to adulthood. So kids will find a way to, like a dog. Either you're going to raise the dog or you're going to throw the dog outside and it's going to fend for itself. And it will fend for itself, it
Mm,
will survive. But it's not going to survive the way that dog that you train is in your house, get the shots and all that shit. He's going to come out a little different than the one you throw out there in the neighborhood takes care of. And then
absolutely.
you're mad when the neighborhood dog bites the fuck out of everybody. Oh, I can't believe he brought the fuck out of everybody. How they trained him? Who trained him? Who
Absolutely.
who took the time to train him? No one. So that's
No,
what you got. That's what you got.
that's a great analogy. I like that idea because you really do, right? Um, that dog that is groomed for like the dog show type of display, right? We worked on this dog, we've invested so much into the dog, you know, we drop the dog off to the sitters when we go away. The dog goes to
Yes.
day camp. It's like the dog has a mom and a dad type of thing. Everybody's working on this dog. And then you just have some dogs that you just open up the door and let them out, and maybe they come back, and but either way they better eat while they out there and get what they can get while they out. And you absolutely right, the difference is going to be totally different. But nobody's blaming those dog owners.
Nope. Nope. But that fucking dog is out there, part of the streets. He fucking everybody and getting everybody pregnant. All of a sudden, you got your neighbor come down and say, "Your mangy ass dog got my goddamn dog pregnant." So keep having that motherfucker. Well, of course, you're like, yeah, I should have, but what am I supposed to do? He
Yeah,
out there for the streets. But that's the same thing you're doing for your kids. You put them out there for the streets, and then you wonder, oh, I did the best I could. If it wasn't for the mom, I wouldn't. No, stop that shit. Everybody, if you have fucking kids, get in their goddamn lives. Stop fucking around and blaming her and whatever. If you gotta get a mediator, do something. Grow the fuck up and take care of these babies. Because if you look around this world, if you don't take care of these babies, society got something for their asses. And if they're out here breaking shit, doing crazy shit, you're gonna put their ass in jail or catch a bullet. But then you can't come in and cry, oh, my baby, I can't believe my baby got shot. Which brings up a point. I've read a story. A woman was suing a homeowner because the homeowner shot and killed her kid. Now, based on that, you're like, oh yeah, if she shot the kid, yeah, she should get sued. The kid was trying to break into the house. Three of them.
Oh, this was the three.
Yep,
Yeah.
trying to break into the fucking house. She not 81 years of
Oh, this
age.
was a man.
No, it was a woman. I saw a
No,
woman. Oh, old woman. I think they. Well, it was probably a couple cases. 'Cause I saw an older lady. And
okay.
it was like I was in my bed. It was 2 in the morning, and I heard him kicking my door. And she had a camera was showing them kicking her door. I mean, kicking
Okay.
that shit like the popo.
Oh, I must
So
be wrong. This the same story though.
and she they kicked the door, and all of a sudden you heard boom, boom, boom. She
Yeah.
killed one right there at the door. The other two got shot. One died later on. The other one, I think he escaped. But the one that got killed, she killed my 14-year-old. You killed him for nothing. Here's a good kid. I'm gonna sue you for $1 million. That lawyer, the judge said, if you don't get the fuck out of my goddamn court, if your
But
kid was out there kicking the fucking door at fucking 2:30 in the morning, breaking into somebody's house, it was in his house, he would have got fucking shot. She said, get the fuck out of here. I'm dismissing this case.
sometimes I feel like in cases that kind of went viral like that, were they approached by a lawyer who said we can try to sue and get, some money? Because I just couldn't see and no shade, they could have been any type of parent, any type of people, but it just doesn't line up. That your kid is kicking in the door and you like, oh shoot, I'm gonna find me a lawyer and sue them. And then I just like I got money to hire a lawyer to like off the rip because I feel like somebody might have offered services to like cover the situation. Like that makes more sense to me. And that does, if my child was doing things improper and they somebody said, hey, I can maybe get you some monetary compensation and perhaps that would make you feel whole, I probably would go with that. I'm just being honest, just being a human. um but I don't think that I would, in my mind, in my grief and in my anger, conjure up the thought that I'm going to sue the homeowner. Because in my level of knowledge, I don't know that I would be able to, like, I would be allowed to do that, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because again, as a parent, if you're a good parent, if you raise your kid well, one thing you don't expect your kid to be is out there kicking somebody's fucking door in at 2:30 in the morning. He will be upstairs, sleep, getting ready for school, not out there breaking and entering. But this cost him his life, and it cost his other boy, some pain. But again, you as a parent can't not raise your kid, then to go out there and do some reckless shit, and then don't expect that shit to happen. Shit
but
just
like,
happen.
yeah, cause but in my mind, I'm thinking like, what legal premise would I've been standing on to say I'm suing you? Like, you see what I'm saying? When my child was totally in the wrong and then trespassing on your yard, where you clearly, I think the yard had do not trespass signs up and everything. Like, what? And it's all on camera, and the detective is going to tell you exactly what's here for the case. It's not like you don't know. Um, y- you know so
Yes.
I think somebody with a little more expertise than the average person kind of influence the idea of going um for some type of compensation, and I'm just saying that I think that her agreeing with it is a normal reaction. um so I don't feel any type of way towards her, but I do understand why the judge said, get this damn case up out of here. We can't just, I also think that there's a few cases that we've seen in our community where when it comes out on social media, we kind of villainize the person who's going through it. But there's some aspects of these cases that make me feel like this is a lawyer driven case, right? The lawyer's like, hey, no, maybe I can get you a little bit of money from the prenup if we challenge it and try to crack it, right? Like, I, how much legal expertise would I know to kind of knock there and be like, hey, do you think we can maybe, um, like, how much would it be to see if we could open this up, type of thing, right? I
Hmm.
don't even have money, and that's what I'm taking him to court for. But let me see about, I just don't know how much. legal information these people have to say that they're the ones who are taking these things to court. I feel like it's like legal advice,
And
if
you know,
that
T,
makes.
you see fucking cop, you see goddamn lawyers all the time. Uh, I see, of course, I know you heard of Big Al. Big Al, that motherfucker does everything in our area. You
Oh, is
know,
that dog? Is that
yeah,
top dog? That top
yeah,
dog?
Top Dog,
Uh,
Big Al, all this. So you hear that
everybody.
shit, like I get money from anything.
First of all, everybody better be quiet in the car if any of his commercials come on. I'm there for him. My man is advertising at its finest because they have to create those cases, right? They have to make sure that they are staying employed and they stay employed by litigation, and that's okay. We understand how things operate, but we're looking at these people, a lot of them, as being fools, and they're not necessarily fools. They're just being advised from someone who they think knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I say, no, let's go after the homeowner. Your child shouldn't have been shot like that. They should at least had a warning shot or something like that. I'm be like, what? We should at least had a warning shot. So you telling me she did do something wrong then? And then the
Hmm.
lawyer like, yeah, they did something wrong. No, and we win for $1 million. I'm taking 37%. So of course the lawyer has an incentive, to get you kind of, not saying riled up, but
Hmm.
prepared to take on a case because they're going
Yes.
to fit from that case. And when it's not costing you anything, but like you signing off on it to say I consent to this, I'm I have nothing to lose here. Of course I'm gonna sign up. I have nothing to lose. And then this person just convinced me that I was in the right. So
Hmm.
yeah, like a prenup. I don't know. What? I was under duress? Like I was what? Like what? And then you telling me the prenup is might not be valid? I don't know. Try to crack. It's not gonna cost me nothing because if I lose, then we're good. Try it. Try it. Even the doing it now.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this is what the lawyer is telling us, you know, we possibly can do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's a situation that didn't have to be. There's certain situations, as we all know, that you have to get a lawyer and sue these motherfuckers because they're doing some wrong shit.
Mhm.
So you sue the fuck out of them. If they don't go to jail, do go to jail, sue the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But there's certain things you just cannot do, and then think it's going to end up well for you. And with one of them is breaking and entering, uh, carjacking, which is happening a lot, and all this other shit. And then someone pulls a gun and puts you to sleep forever. I can't see your parent out there when you're carjacking people want to go out and hire a lawyer, and they probably will because they're going to try to get some money out the deal because they got to bury your goofy ass. So you can probably do something. But that goes back to all the way back to what we started with, taking care of your damn kids, making sure you're there and a true role model. Just someone that can learn from, someone that can teach them. And I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect. No parent is perfect. But what we want to do is put the best foot forward and make sure we give our kids the best opportunity to be the best person they can be, and to work well with your significant other. Men, women, you need each other because this whole bullshit. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. That's bullshit. That's like a man saying, "I don't." It's like a man's penis and balls having a discussion, talking about, "I don't need you. You don't need you either. You need both of you motherfuckers need each other. Your penis and your balls need each other in order to do a whole lot of things. So that's a dumbass argument. Like a woman said, I don't need my eggs and your vagina, your face. For JJ saying, I don't need them eggs either. But you need both of them in order for the baby to come. So let's stop the dumb, goofy shit and stop fighting each other because we need each other. Black women need black men. Black women need black men. Black men need black women. And to combine, you have to raise your fucking kids. Because if you don't raise your kids, you don't want society to raise your kids because they got a plan for them,
Hmm.
prison or death. Choice is yours. But you don't want to leave it up to them. It's up to you to be the best that you can be for these kids. What you want to say, T, to end this particular conversation?
Man, I think that's a good point to leave it off on, is that we do need each other. And if you're lucky enough, if you're wise enough to like actually be humble in the situation, you might actually enjoy each other. Like you might actually enjoy the person that you chose to live life with. Especially if you stay away from temptations. Um, they're always there. They're always there.
Always there, y'all. Let me tell you, always. It's never gonna fucking leave you. So
Hmm.
men, women will, some women, something will always approach you. Something always gonna approach you. Same thing with women. There's always somebody that's gonna approach you. But
Hmm.
that's what happens when you grow and when you become an adult. You have boundaries. You don't cross boundaries. You pretty much know what's coming. You block it off, so it's not like I gotta fight this urge.
Hmm.
That's different between an animal and us. Animals don't fight their urges because they're animals. For
Yeah.
us humans, we fight our urges, and we should fight our urges because if you don't fight your urge, you're hurting the whole community, the entire community, and we don't need any more hurt and pain in the community than we already have. So with that, I'm going to end this particular episode of On the Mic with the M.
Auntie,
Y'all, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and send us topics that you want us to talk about, and we're going to do that. And again, we appreciate all you guys, and we want you to have a wonderful holiday season. Blessings to all y'all, and until next time, peace and blessings.